Hey, what's up, Spencer? My name is Everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be covering a controversy that is sweeping the writing community, a controversy that is related to the event/company NaNoWriMo. Now, if you're somebody who isn't really big into writing, this will probably all be brand new to you, but don't worry about it. I will explain everything. So NaNoWriMo stands for National Novel Writing Month and was originally created in 1999 by Chris Beatty and his friends when they wanted to create a sort of challenge to encourage them to write more. Thus, they decided to dedicate the entire month of November to writing 50,000 words. Over the years, this challenge turned into an entire company that was eventually running writing camps and workshops and selling merch. And NaNoWriMo has been a fairly well-known and unproblematic event that just about anyone who I knew who was into writing participated in one way or another. I myself have done this challenge just about every single year since the 10th grade to varying degrees of success every time. Some years I am able to write the 50,000 words, and some years I'm barely able to get out 5. But either way, this was just a fun little challenge that was supposed to encourage people to get working and make progress on their project. That was until the controversy happened. On August 30th, NaNoWriMo posted their stance on AI in, I believe, their blog, and this was a post that garnered massive backlash. In this post, they said a lot of not good stuff, such as that to categorically condemn AI would be to ignore classist and ableist issues surrounding the use of technology. They go on to state that to be able to afford beta readers and editors is to assume a level of privilege, and that not all brains have the same abilities and require outside help or accommodations to achieve certain goals. This post inspired tons of backlash from published, indie, and non-published authors alike. Countless people were talking about how this post really looks down on disabled people and makes it out to seem as though they are not able to create art the way that average people are, and actually ended up causing several of Nanu's board members to step down. Many people are also calling to boycott NaNoWriMo and have since deleted their accounts and subscriptions and any donations that they may have been making to the company. Ellipsis, which is a writing software, even ended up dropping their sponsorship from NaNoWriMo in stark support of disabled authors. Now, let's spend a minute talking about these statements and why exactly they are damaging. Now, for context, like I have said, I am a writer, but I am also somebody who has ADHD, autism, bipolar, hand tremors, as well as a host of other problems, so I definitely fall into the disabled author category. Now, let's start off with the claim that condemning AI is classist and ableist towards those who use technology. No, it's not. Disabled people don't need to use AI. Just about everything that I have seen that people claim AI can help disabled people with is something that already exists. For example, you know those AIs that can see what's on a shelf in front of somebody and tell a blind person what they're looking at? Yeah, that was invented like 10 to 15 years ago. My legally blind grandfather has had one of those things for I don't even know how long. There's also countless tricks that blind people use in order to figure out what exactly is in front of them and what exactly they're looking at. And you know that Gemini commercial where that guy inputs the prompt of a cat playing a guitar? Yeah, you can literally already Google that and get non-AI generated images of the same exact thing. We don't need to be polluting the environment for shit that literally already exists. Oh yeah, in case you didn't know, because apparently not everybody is aware of this, but AI uses a stupid amount of water just for a single prompt. And that's not to say that AI can't help disabled people. There are definitely things that AI can be used in the disability community. It's just that writing is not one of them. For example, I saw a story where a woman used AI to scan old videos from before she lost her voice so that now when she uses her AAC, it comes out in her voice. That is so cool. But I think that the biggest barrier that people don't understand between AI and disabled people is that AI should not be doing things for people. They should be assisting people. Like another example, I mentioned that I have hand tremors. So when I draw, it can be a little bit of a frustrating experience because lines are not coming out as smooth and nice as I would like them to. Thus, I usually use something in my drawing program called a stabilizer, which artificially smooths out the lines for me to make them look nicer. This is an assistive technology, but the difference is it is not doing anything for me. Every single line, everything that I'm drawing, everything that I am putting down on my technological paper, my digital paper, is mine and something that I have decided where to place. I also decide how much of the stabilizer is turned up or down to affect how smooth the lines are going to be. Nothing is done for me. It is all something that I am choosing how to control and manipulate. The same cannot be said about writing AI because writing AI does the writing for them as opposed to helping them. But what about the people who don't use AI for writing? What about the people who use AI for ideas and to be able to kind of throw around different concepts? Well, that's sort of the next thing that Nano said, is that it is assuming a level of privilege to say that anybody is able to have access to beta readers and editors. Except that's not really true. For one thing, these programs are not designed to read your stuff and give you feedback on it. And if you do get feedback, it's probably not going to be very good feedback because the AI program is not able to tell you how it feels or is able to interact with any of the concepts that are being presented. Second, you don't actually need money in order to have beta readers or editors. There are countless Reddit forums and Discord servers that you can post in, find people who are interested in your project, and get real feedback from real people about it without having to pay a cent. Normally, it's read for read, so you read their thing and they read yours. In fact, I usually find that the people who charge for their beta or editing skills have less reliable feedback than the people who do it for free. That doesn't mean that paid editors are necessarily bad, but somebody who is voluntarily signing up to work on a project is probably going to give more genuine feedback than somebody who is just being paid to be there. One person has a genuine interest in what is being written about, and the other person just has a financial interest. Also, for those who argue that they use AI to bounce ideas off of something or to be able to figure out a plot hole, you can literally just do that with the regular people in your life. They don't even need to be a writer or anything. One time, I had a 70-year-old woman in one of my dance classes help me figure out this massive plot hole that I've been stuck on for weeks and weeks and weeks just because I talked it out with her and she was throwing out ideas. I cannot emphasize how important it is to just talk to regular people about the things that you are making. Now let's get into last and frankly the most insulting part of this argument. Not all brains have the same ability, and some require outside help or accommodations to achieve certain goals. Ugh. You don't know what an actual accommodation is, do you? Accommodations are things like speech-to-text technology or giving someone additional time to work on a project, not doing everything for them. If I was still in college, I would not be allowed to pay somebody else to write an essay for me and then submit it as though it was my own, even though I have a disability. That would be considered cheating, and I would get kicked out. So why is it different when computer programs do it? It is at this point that I want to introduce you to Dan Keplinger, who is an artist who I discovered when watching the documentary King Gimp. This documentary screened in 1999, which, hey, is the same year that NaNoWriMo was invented, and follows Dan at 13 years old throughout school and into college as he becomes an artist. And something that's important for you to know about Dan is that he has cerebral palsy, which is a condition that makes it very difficult for him to be able to use a large portion of his body. This means he isn't able to hold a paintbrush and make art in the same way that average people can. Instead, he uses an adaptive paintbrush, which is essentially just a brush taped to a cap that he wears on his head. And with this adapted paintbrush, he has created some incredible art. It is his disability, which is part of the reason why his art looks the way that it does, and it is incredible and good and unique. His disability is really what has made his art so incredible, and I don't think that there is any reality in which he could make his art better by using AI. By saying that disabled people need to use AI in order to create art, it is insinuating that the art that they create on their own is somehow inferior to other people's. That is absolutely not true, and Dan really shows that by turning into the things that we struggle with, we can explore new and unique aspects of ourselves. Maybe there's somebody out there who really struggles to write long, eloquent sentences because of their disability. But I have also never really read a story that was created out of short, choppy sentences. But I can really think of a lot of ways in which that would be new and unique and really add a great element to a story. I think the best argument against AI writing that I have seen is, why should I bother to read something that you couldn't even be bothered to write? And it's true. When making art in any manner, there are thousands of little decisions that artists make for a reason in order to emphasize certain points. When AI creates art, it is not trying to emphasize or make any certain points. It is simply putting everything that it has seen into an algorithm and spitting out whatever it thinks the average is. AI doesn't take risks, it doesn't make choices, and it certainly doesn't think. And that is what makes it so shitty. And don't even get me started on the whole concept of AI being trained on art that people have not consented to and is just ripping away the soul and the hours and hours of passion that other real people have put into it. When you use AI, you are robbing yourself. You are robbing yourself of the ability to create something that's new and unique and you, and the ability to go out and discover other artists who are making some incredible work. The world is amazing and infinite. Go out and explore it. If you want something in specific, discover it. And if it doesn't exist, create it. And yeah, I really understand what it is like when you want to create a certain piece of art, but your skill isn't up there yet, or if you want to read a specific story, but all you can do is stare at the blank screen and the blinking cursor. That stuff is tough, but it also is supposed to be. Even the people who are out there creating incredible, mind-blowing artwork are having a difficulty and struggling with it. You think that just because Tony Hawk can land a 900, that doesn't make it difficult for him? Of course not. He still works for that shit. And that is what makes it so inspiring. He has worked and worked and worked to be able to do something that nobody else has been able to do it before. If a computer program just came in and did it easy after him, nothing about that is amazing. But more than that, learning how to create art, even though it's difficult, is something that you should be incredibly proud of for yourself. For example, look at these two fan art pictures that I've created about a year apart from each other. The first one is absolute shit, and the second one is better, but there's still a long way to go. And guess what? I love both of these pieces because it shows how much I have learned and how much I have grown. If this is only a year apart from each other, imagine where I'm gonna be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, soon I will have the ability to create the incredibly intricate artwork that I come up with in my head. If I had used AI to generate these images, then there would be no emotion tied to it. I wouldn't give a shit about either of these pictures. But because I put myself into it, both of these pieces of art create so many feelings for me, even though they are not good. And to tell you the truth, I would much rather have a shitty picture that I created myself and put a whole bunch of feeling into, as opposed to a computer-generated image that came out in 5 seconds. All right, that's kind of everything that I have on this subject. Basically, I feel like AI can be used for things, but anything that is creative should purely be a human act. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if there is something that you would like me to cover, let me know. I would love to hear some of your suggestions. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more like it. But besides that, make sure that you stay safe and have a fantastic day. Bye.